Hi guys, it's Jo here for another tutorial featuring the Time for Tea Designs Seasons Tweetings Digi stamp set. So for this card, I've already coloured up all of my images and fussy cut them out. I've also cut out and coloured the accessory hats that go with the set. I have coloured those up in a previous tutorial, so I won't be showing the colouring as part of this video, but you can refer back to one of my previous videos if you want to see the colouring process. So here I'm just showing you some of the other die sets that I've used as part of this, and the first one is the My Favourite Things Dynamics Ho 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 die set, and I think this is really versatile. You can use both the positive and negative space, and each of the words has a different centre point that you can use. It also has these little strips that form part of the bars for the ho, the H in the ho, which you can use with complementary cardstock or papers, but I've used in this instance to cut out one of my sentiments. So I've just cut that out of some plain white cardstock, and then also cut out a border, a scalloped edge border, using some Create and Craft Duo dies nesting scallop rectangles. And I've created a backing sheet from some patterned paper from the Lawn Fawn Snow Day 6x6 inch paper pack. So I'm now just going to apply some shaker tape. Now the shaker tape here is from a set from Create and Craft also, and this is a fabulous set, really good value, and is really great for projects like this where you can have lots of tiny little bits that you need to cut out, little spaces to fill. I didn't want to leave any places without any adhesive because I didn't want them to cave and to bow with any pressure on the card. So I filled all my spaces in, and I've really sped this portion up because it's pretty boring to watch someone taking the backing off the tape there. But what I have done is I've left around the edges some little bits sticking out so that when I come to position it onto my backing sheet of paper, it won't fully adhere until I'm completely satisfied that I've got it in the right place. So now I'm sure I can just pull those little tabs out, and it means that it's completely adhered to my backing panel. The next stage is to then adhere this piece to the base of my card. So I'm using an A6 top folding card blank, and again a piece of paper from the Lawn Fawn Nitpicky set paper pack, which is the fall set. And I'm just going to adhere that with some liquid glue. So just applying that liberally to the back of my paper there, and then I'm going to attach that to my card blank. So excuse my head popping into view, but I just needed to make sure that that was fully lined up before I fully press that down. So now that's adhered, I can now put my back panel on top, and again I'm using some liquid glue to make sure that that's adhered firmly in place, and just lining that up so that there's an equal distance around each side of that panel. So once I'm happy with that, I can now start looking at where I'm going to put my my little robin images. And based on the amount of space that there is at the start or the end of the words there, I'm using my fattest or thinnest robin so that they fit neatly in place. And these images do just fit perfectly with this die. So I was really pleased with how that turned out. I'm adding on my little hat accessories first, so just using a little bit of the liquid adhesive there to attach the hats onto each of those robins, and then I've used foam tape on the back of each image to attach them to the front panel, just to create a little bit of dimension there. So just getting rid of all my bits of paper. The foam pads from a mixture of places. Some I've had to cut down to fit into the tiny little gaps there. I'm just adhering there the little star that was in the centre, that's die cut from the ho ho ho, and also there's the circle portion that came from the centre of that word as well. My sentiment I've just added with some liquid glue and put that in the bottom right hand corner, and I'm now just adhering some of those extra branches of mistletoe, again just with some liquid glue to add a little bit of extra embellishment to the card. So it's at this stage that I'm looking to add some finishing touches, and I'm going to start by choosing one of the red gems from this collection and adding that into the centre of the star on the second word ho, in the centre of the O there. So just using some of my liquid adhesive and my poker tool to attach that into the centre, and I think that just finishes that word off perfectly. But I do think that we need a few more bits of shimmer. It is a Christmas card after all. So I've got some pearl drops here that I'm just going to add to the berries of the mistletoe. And I'm just going to do that ever so lightly so as not to create huge blobs of liquid onto the berries there. So just taking a little bit of time, not rushing the process at all, just to add a little bit of extra shine onto those berries so that they stand out a little bit more. Turning the card round, adding that to the second branch at the top of the card. So now I'm happy with that, and I'm happy with the way that all looks. I did still feel that there was a bit of blank space just above the first ho that just didn't look quite right, and I didn't quite know how to fill it, so I tried some sequins and no, wasn't happy with those, so moved those out of the way, and then thought actually my gems were probably a good shout, so went back to the red gems and just applied those into that white space, and then finally one in the third ho at the bottom there in the middle of the O, and I felt that just created a little bit of balance. When I'm applying gems or embellishments and pearl drops of this type, it is always a good idea to use odd numbers rather than even numbers. That just again, it just helps with the balance and the whole look of the piece. So I've just adhered those with some more liquid adhesive, and I felt that just finished the card off perfectly. So I hope that you've enjoyed this card making video. If you are interested in seeing more of these, then please do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I will be posting more regularly, and all the details of the items that I've used to make the cards will be listed in the accompanying blog post, the link for which will be in the description below. So thank you ever so much for watching, and please do check out our blog and website, Facebook and Instagram pages for more inspiration. Thank you. Bye bye now.